Hello, English language learners. Welcome to Learn English with me. So I hope to see many of you today. As you know, today's lesson is very exciting, which you always wait for. Ma'am, how can we improve our speaking skills? Ma'am, how we can learn English better way, right? So that's what we will be learning about it today. So we're going to talk about the strategies, and let's see if you are here. Try to join the class at this time. And if you are not, that's fine, because I am going to talk about the strategies today. Okay, so I am going to share my PowerPoint, and I want to show you all the strategies which can help you to enhance your skills. So I always tell you, yes, many of you want to enhance your speaking skills, but speaking skills always come with when you are practicing your other skills too, right? So let me show you the PowerPoint, and let's talk about the first strategy, okay? So as I mentioned here, there are 4 strategies, right? Amazing spoken skills. So the first one is now. So these strategies can help you learn to use and understand the English language. So the very first thing is what? Listening, right? Listen actively and try out language. So again, I always say, please repeat after me, right? You, in other words, you can say, you can copy me, right? और मेरे साथ बोलो और उसी टोन में बोलो, right? उसी टोन में बोलो जिस तरह से मैं बात करती हूँ आपसे. So उससे क्या है कि एक तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा, दूसरा प्रोनाउंसिएशन भी बढ़ेगी, और तीसरी चीज है कि when you speak, you automatically learn your grammar skills too, right? So that's what you need to do. So for example, here, if you listen, way to go, Dhoni, fantastic catch. So you can say it with the same tone, right? With the same expressions. So way to go, Dhoni, fantastic catch. So whatever you listen, try to copy it. And believe me, I practiced this a lot when I was learning English. Even now, I think I mentioned earlier too, when I go to my institution on my way, I listen to radio a lot, right? And sometimes it's just like it's a fun way to learn, and I love to get involved that way too sometimes, right? So I just copy. I know when it's like a news, or you are watching TV or watching a show or something, and everything is happening very fast, right? You cannot follow along everything, but whatever the words you are catching, whatever the sentences you are catching, all the phrases you are catching, just try to use those, right? The same way. That's very beneficial for you to enhance your skills and speaking. जिसमें वो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आपकी है हेजिटेशन, वो आपकी हेजिटेशन जो है वो रिमूव होती है. Hi Anu, hi News Planet, welcome. So today we are talking about the strategies. So the first one is, when you listen something, you need to try out the language with the same way. That is one of the most effective strategy. And it's it's not just I'm telling you, right? No, used strategy, and it's very effective. Okay. So the next one, it's another example. Listen actively and try out the language. What to do? Repeat what you hear, right? So you hear, hi, I'm Sam. I saw your van and your cat. So you can repeat the same way. Hi, I am Sam. I saw your van and your cat. So same tone, right? Same tone को catch करो. क्योंकि देखो language में, when you read something and when you speak, sometimes उसमें थोड़ा सा difference होता है, right? But when you listen, you know where to use all kind of expressions. So वो बहुत important है when you listen and try out the language the same way. Okay, so repeat it. What you hear, you can repeat it. Okay, next one is, so the first one is listen actively and try out language. Write down these 4 strategies in your notebook. As I always say, try to take notes because sometimes you don't remember everything when you watch lesson. So the very first strategy is when you listen something, try out the language. Repeat it, okay? Repeat it. Very effective strategy. And then the second one is you can recite the songs and poems, right? So कोई भी कहीं पोम है आपको सुनते हो या सॉन्ग सुनते हो तो उसको रिपीट करो, उसी टोन में बोलो, उसको कोशिश करो. I mean, I know we all are not singers and some of you might gonna say, मैम हमारी आवाज नहीं अच्छी, हम नहीं बोल सकते इस तरह से. No, it's fine. I mean, I remember like maybe 1 year ago or 2 years, I didn't remember exactly the time, but there were 2 girls from Pakistan, and they were like I think belongs to one kind of like a tribe, and और वो क्या कहते हैं, they were like beggars, right? वो मांगती थी गलियों में, तो they used to sing Justin Bieber song. Right, और वो इतनी famous हो गई, and now actually they sing, they don't beg anymore, and they have their own singing business. They are in this profession now. So what do you think? They never been in school, right? And but they were copying English song on the same tune. It was so beautiful, like, you know, I even listened their song too. So it was amazing. I was like, wow. Right, so they picked up everything. They picked up the words, they picked up the like a tune, right, a pronunciation, everything. It was like amazing song they sang. Okay, so you can do that too, and moreover you already know a lot of English, right? So why not to try the language? So recite song and poems, like for example, my parental family tree. And we know we talked about family a lot a few weeks ago. So no father, no mother, 2 sisters, 1 brother, and then there is me. 5 of us together make up my parental family tree. And this is my family tree, my parental family tree, right? So when I say parental family tree, that means my parents' family, no father, no mother, 2 sisters, 1 brother. So if I have 2 sisters, that means we are 3 sisters, right, including me. Okay, and then there is me, right? 5 of us together make my parental family tree. So that's where you can just, like, you know, and moreover it's like a fun way to learn, not a boring way to learn, right? Okay, I have another poem. If I will have time, then we're gonna talk about. So this is my family tree, right? My family tree. 1 husband, 1 son, 1 daughter, and then there's me. 4 of us together make up my family tree. Right? So you can make your own family tree and you can sing about it. Not only your family tree, you can talk about your friend's family. You can say, right, that's my friend's family, or that's my uncle's family. So you can just make it like that, you know, count the family members they have. It's like a fun way to learn. Hello, Comrade Nisha, Maria, good evening. Asad Zaman, good afternoon. So wherever you are, whatever, I don't know the time. So good morning from me, okay? So I have another poem. If I will have time, we're gonna recite that poem. But right now I'm gonna go to the next one. So listen to others and use their language. Again, same strategy. I always tell you, even when you are in my Saturday's class too, right? So you hear, when did you know that your book was missing? So when did you know that your book was missing? So you can speak in the same tone. Oh, and you say, I knew that my book was missing when I got to class. So You hear, you can see that. So you can see even from this question, when did you know that your book was missing? How many words you already picked up from the question, right? Even you are just using what? I, and then you change the form, the verbs form, right? Knew, I knew that, my, like that, and then you are changing here my, right? So from this, what did you change? You just change from know to knew, right? You change this, and then you changed your to my, right? And then you added what? My, and then book was missing. So this part is pretty much you picked up from what? From where? From the question, right? So when I got to class, you added this much. So even when you listen it very carefully, you pick up a lot of language from the questions too. So that is also one of the strategy. So listen to the others and use their language, right? So it's their language. That's what it is we are talking about. So when you listen someone, and it happens, and you can notice it only if you pay attention. If you pay attention and you are a good listener, वो कहते हैं ना जिसको लिसनिंग की एक कला आ जाए ना वो बहुत कुछ सीख लेता है बिकॉज लिसनिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ओके एंड लिसनिंग एंड देन absorbing that listening, thinking deeply and then using it. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so let me see if you are here before I move on to the next slide. Okay, hi. Oh, so okay, today's your first day. Okay. And so now do you understand? The first one is listen and repeat. And the second one is listen to others and use their language. Okay, right? Okay. The next one, ask for help. Ask for help, right? So ask a question about how to use the language. So did I say it right? Did I use the word in the right way? Which word is correct? Bringed or brought or bought, right? So you see that? So you can bring or brought, not bought. So you see here, this was also wrong because buy is brought, buy, bought, buy होता खरीदना, right? तो उसकी past form होती है bought, but bring की brought, right? So now you can see that. Did I say it right? So I know in, let me stop my PowerPoint here and talk to you about this. I know in Asian culture, it's not very popular. It's not popular that people are gonna ask for help, okay? Because in, again, I'm going to talk about Indian culture. I'm so sorry, guys. I always say Indian culture because I grew up there, right? So वहाँ पे थोड़ा है, people hesitate to ask for help because sometimes when you ask another person for help, they might kind of make fun of you. Oh, तेरे को इतना भी नहीं आता, तेरे को इतना भी नहीं पता, तो हंसते हैं कई बार, है ना? तो वो उसकी वजह से भी होता है कि people just hesitate and they are not comfortable to ask to other people for help. But again, the change starts from home. So if you really want to change the culture, you should start doing it and tell other people, right? Okay, please, this is just a language and it's not measuring our intelligence. It's fine. You are just learning English as a second language or as a third language, right? Doesn't make that difference. But ask for help if you do not understand something, right? So because हो सकता है आपके आसपास कोई जिसको आपसे ज़्यादा आती है. Now, in these days especially, you can even type in, in your search engine, any search engine, what you're using, Google use karte ho, to Google mein type karke, and you can listen even, right? Even the Webster's dictionary hai, Oxford dictionary hai. There are so many dictionaries online also. And if you are not sure about any word, even if you are not sure about the pronunciation, तो आप वो word type करके and उसको word को type करके you can say meaning, and then when you go there you can listen the pronunciation, right? So you can use it correctly. You can see the all the forms also कि उसमें कौन सी फॉर्म यूज हुई है, एंड यू ऑल नो कि प्रेजेंट में हम कौन सा वर्ब यूज करते हैं, पास्ट में कौन सा यूज करते हैं, फ्यूचर में कौन सा यूज करते हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ यू नो एंड मेनी ऑफ यू आर प्रीटी गुड इन योर टेंसेस आल्सो. यू हैव अ बेसिक understanding, and many of you have a pretty good understanding about your grammar skills. Your skills are strong, right? So that's very easy. So the next one, so that's important. Ask for help. If you don't understand something, just feel free to ask other people that they can tell you. You can ask it, did I use that word in the right way? Did I say it correctly? And you will not believe it, guys. I think I told you already, because when I started teaching here, right? And yes, it took me a while to refine my pronunciation, my English skills, like everything. But I was always very open about it. I never got scared to ask for help. Even now, if I don't get it, if I am not sure about something, if I have some kind of doubts, I always go and ask my coworkers or my friends at work, can you help me? Can you tell me? If I have any kind of confusion, I still ask. Okay, so it's okay. Again, I'm saying I am not perfect. I don't know everything. And if you have that kind of mindset, then you always have a more chances to learn, right? Because you have a desire to learn. But when you say, oh, no, I'm not going to ask, no, people are going to make fun of me, then you are just living in your own comfort zone, right? Or in your own shell. And then you cannot, then you should not expect to grow, right? Or become fluent, because you have to change your mindset in order to become a fluent English speaker, as you always want to be, and then or enhance your skills, right? So bring yourself on advanced level. And then you use your native language or English to make sure that you understand. So here comes the translation part. It's okay. You say, wait, could you say that again more slowly, please? So आप किसी को अगर कोई बहुत तेज बोल रहा है तो आप कह सकते हो किसी, right? किसी में तेज, especially इंडिया में बहुत तेज बोलते हैं बहुत सारे लोग. मैं ये नहीं कहती, यहाँ पे भी बोलते हैं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, बहुत लोग तेज बोलते हैं, पर कई लोग बहुत तेज बोलते हैं, right? तो आपको कई बार हो सकता है वो समझ ना आए, right? The chances are there you might not understand everything, and then it's okay. If you don't understand, you can say that. Could you say that again more slowly, please? Or could you repeat it, please? It's okay. Then other option is, does violet mean purple or jamuni in Hindi? Like you can think about it, right? कि अच्छा ये वाली चीज ये होती है हमारी लैंग्वेज में. Okay. Is enormous another way to say big? So here it's like synonyms, right? So if you know that, so just you sometimes don't need to ask another person, right? You just need to think in your mind, and you need to talk to yourself sometimes, right? Sometimes I tell my students, talk to yourself, and they were like, how can we talk to ourselves? We can't talk to ourselves. I was like, no, you always talk to yourself. Like then they say, oh, when, how, when? I was like, okay. There are so many situations. For example, if you want to, if you are in trouble, right? And then you think about, okay, today I'm going to go home and I don't know what's going to happen, what my mother will say or my father will say. And then you think about in your mind the excuses you're going to make or the arguments you're going to have and what's your answer's going to be, right? Oh, yeah. And then if you want to buy something, right? And you want to convince your parents, right? And you are thinking in your mind, right? So how you convince your parents that you want this and this is really good for you or beneficial for you or you need it and stuff like that. So they were like, oh yeah. I was like, sometimes you don't even think about it, that you talk to yourself all the time, right? So that's what you need to do, is to talk to yourself. Okay, so let me see your comments before I move on to the next slide. Hello, hello, hello. So, so anyone agree with me? Do you think these strategies are effective, or is there anyone who is already using these strategies? Come on, tell me. Anu, Panus, Kamran Nisha, Maria, Asad, Shala, Dylan. So tell me, what do you think? Do you think you use these strategies, or is there anyone who already tried it? Or you think, yes, these strategies might be helpful? Anyone, any views, any comments? I know there is a gap of 30 seconds when I say something, especially because we are live. Okay. Hello, Krishna. Okay, so the next is, so this one was, what did we talk about here? Ask for help, right? So the first one was listening, right? What you listen, repeat. And when you listen, use their language. So that is number one strategy. Yes. Number two is ask for help. Ask for help. That's number two. Yes, I have been using that method. Excellent. Okay, the next one. Use gestures and body language and watch for them, right? So gestures, इशारे, right? Gestures होते हैं इशारे, हिंदी में अगर समझते हो तो. So yeah, gestures को use करो. I hope you're gonna see this. So gestures को use करो and body language and watch for them. दूसरे की body language को note करो, right? अगर कोई एंग्री है तो दैट मीन्स कि उसकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज से आपको पता चल जाएगा कोई हैप्पी है या कोई आपसे क्वेश्चन कर रहा है तो यू I mean, we are naturally a good observer, right? Humans are very good observer about कि दूसरे की body language हम बड़े easily understand कर लेते हैं. ऐसी कोई बात नहीं. Even eyes expressions or everything, we just pick that up very quickly. So use gestures and movements to help others understand your ideas also. Now, I don't know how many of you really are at this stage, because this is sometimes a very beginner stage. यहाँ पे बहुत ही कई बार हाँ बट फिर भी कई बार कई चीज़ों में आपको दूसरे को अगर नहीं अंडरस्टैंड हो रहा तो you can use the gestures, right? I will hold up 5 fingers to show that I need 5 more minutes, right? So that's only because someone is not, it's kind of like a entering or beginner level in English, right? Then is watch people as they speak. The way they look or move can help you understand the meaning of their words, right? So let's give him a hand. So if someone is saying, let's give him a hand, that means to help someone, right? अगर कोई बैग लेके जा रहा है heavy, और अगर आपने कोई दूसरा आपको कह रहा है let's give him a hand, तो वो आगे थोड़ा बड़ा है तो आपको पता चल जाएगा कि अगर आपको समझ भी नहीं आया कि let's give him a hand का क्या मतलब है, तो in other words it means to help another person, राइट, किसी की हेल्प करना है तो आप उसके जो इशारे हैं, उसकी जो मोमेंट्स हैं, उससे भी आपको बहुत कुछ लैंग्वेज का पता चल जाता है, राइट. Everyone is clapping, give him a hand, so must mean to clap for him, right? So even if you don't know, give him a hand, right? Because these kind of languages are sometimes cultural, so that means clapping, right? So that, so the point is that you need to observe other people, especially if you are in that situation where you think your English skills are not up to that mark, and even in interview में भी हो तो कहीं, तो you can observe them कि वो किस तरह, उनकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज क्या है, उससे भी आपको बहुत बहुत कुछ पता चल जाता है, and you are able to answer or you are able to speak, right? So that's another way, is to use gestures and your body language. Okay. Yes, Maria, that's very important. Yes. Yes. I mean, see, I'm going to show you some of the strategies. Those might be funny and you might gonna think the childish, but those are very effective strategies. Not today, but I'm going to bring those too. Okay, so think about what you are learning. I always say that, think, pay attention, right? So ask yourself, are my language skills getting better? How can I improve? Right? Was it correct to use they when I talked about my grandparents? Did I add s to show ownership? That means possessives, right? Possessive nouns. Then keep notes about what you have learned. Use your notes to practice using English. So, whatever I'm telling you all the time in every lesson, that's what it is. These are the strategies, very effective strategies, right? And these strategies works. Please try to understand. It's not that these are just the written stuff. No, it's very effective. And I'm just trying to make it a little more bigger because sometimes you guys use phones and it might not be big enough so you can see it. So here, now, so how to ask questions. So now keep notes about what you have learned. Use your note to practice your English. Always say, keep your notebook, take notes, practice the language, right? So how to ask questions? I can start a question with who, what, where, when, how, why, can, right? Could, do, does. So there are so many ways. Is, are, right? So you can ask these kinds of questions. So what will the weather be? So what will the weather be like today? So I can also start a question with do or does. Do you have my math book? Do you have my pencil? May I borrow a pencil from you? Can I borrow a pencil from you? Could you please give me your pencil? So you see that you just play with the language. Play with the language, right? Think about what you are learning and use that language. So I know here in the chat, many of you are saying, I can't read what is written on slide. I think my eyesight is weak. And that's the reason I am making it slightly bigger. Let me make it, try to, okay. So I'm gonna make it more. I'm gonna change the font size. I hope now you can see it clearly. Yes, if you don't, let me know. I can make it more, I can move it on 2 slides. That's not a problem, okay? So I hope you can see now. Shala, are you able to see? Okay, yes. So you see, these strategies are very effective, very effective. I know many students sometimes say, do you have a cup of tea? Do you like to, yeah, do you like to, do you like to drink tea? Do you like to? Maria, I think Coffee is more common at your area. Am I right, Maria? Coffee is more common in the South. Okay, so now we're gonna practice the language. Today, as I think I don't have that much time now because we already, okay, so I'm gonna see, okay, do you have, so yes, I mean, you can use these strategies and play with the language, right? Yes, so what we learned so far, anyone can tell me? Anyone? Let's see, what's the first strategy? Let's talk about, would you like to drink? Would you like to drink tea or coffee? I know in India, people say take a coffee or tea. In America, we don't say take. I most of the time drink. Okay. Would you like drink coffee or tea? Yes. Okay. So would you like to drink tea or coffee? Okay. Do you have a cup of tea? Do you have a cup of? I don't have. I have a water. Early morning. I drink water early morning. I'm going to drink coffee later on after this class. That's my time. But that's the reason sometimes you feel there is some irritation in my throat because it's early morning and I just woke up and get dressed and brushed my teeth, of course, and get dressed and then drink water. That's my routine. Drink a lot of water early morning, and then after this class I will eat my breakfast and coffee. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Abdul. Hello, Abdul Bakhtiar. If you remember the strategies, so the first one is listening. So the listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. And in listening, part 2 is listen and what? Use their language, right? Listen and use their language. And then is have you come home for holidays? Have you come home for holidays? Okay. Okay. So try to, are you back home for holidays? Have you come home for holidays? Have you? I don't know. Some of you use a little bit a complicated way to speak. I would say like try to use it like a very simple way to speak. Okay. Are you back home for holidays? Are you here for holidays? Are you home now? Like that. Okay. Good. Okay, everyone. So I will see you tomorrow with another lesson, and we're going to practice a lot of language. Okay. So if you like my lesson, give me a thumbs up and keep practicing. So again, take notes, right? Notes are very important, and then practice the language. So I will see you now tomorrow at this time. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed.